Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Joined alongside Tim in Green Bay, here to talk Packers this evening, guys. We got a big show for you. We're going to give you the Elgton Jenkins update from Matt LaFleur. We're going to give you the Packers offensive ranking and some of the other side categories outside of points per play. We'll give you the Jordan Love rankings. Man, Jacob Morley has been on one on Twitter. He's been lighting it up. We'll give you that tweet. Refs for the Eagles, man. Went back and watched the tape. I've made 4 passes through the all-22. And boy, oh boy, there was some stuff to just made you scratch your head a little bit. And then, of course, the news that broke earlier today, the New York Giants going with a different starting quarterback this Sunday against your Green Bay Packers. And we'll give you guys the early injury report. Before we get into all of it, if you would, do that YouTube stuff for me. Hit like. Hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning into PTA, welcome. Thank you for making us a part of your day. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We're fans just like you talking Packers on the daily. So make sure you click subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. Tim, how you doing, big dog? We have a good day, man?
Ready as always to talk some ball, man. Doing good.
Oh, man.
Great work on the roundtable once again tonight, by the way.
I appreciate it, man. It was a lot of fun talking ball with those guys, man. There's some fun games on slate today. I mean, obviously this week you got Green Bay at the Giants. Can't overlook anybody. Not that Matt LaFleur ever would. Chicago at Minnesota is going to be a fun one. I hate that they got that during the same kickoff time, man. It just sucks. Or we do a watch party for that one. And then, of course, get to kick our feet up at the end of the night, get some good food, good dinner, get a little fire going, Tim, in the fireplace, and watch Detroit and Philadelphia go at it there on Sunday Night Football. Really excited about that one. So it's going to be a fun week, man, for sure. So it was nice talking ball with those guys over there. But let's jump into the first topic of the night here, Tim. Rob Demovsky put a tweet out. Matt LaFleur said it's, quote, highly unlikely that Elgton Jenkins will be able to return this season. Sean Ryan will start at center. So, we were talking about how bad is the fracture? How long will he be out? Will it be one of those 4-week fractures? Will it be something that lasts into the playoffs? The fact that he says highly unlikely, I think he's pretty much done, man. I really do. So I don't know how you feel about it.
Bring on Nacho Libre, baby. Big Sean in the middle. Let's go.
Definitely. It's Nacho Libre going to be playing center. I know there's some people that are concerned about that. I'm more concerned when it happens in the middle of a game because the shakeup, right? That you've got to, oh God, we got to scramble and get, all right, let's get on the same page. Getting a full week working together. I think we're going to look up, guys, and go probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks and go, you know what? I'm not saying Sean Ryan is a better player than Elgton Jenkins. That would be crazy to say that. But I do think that we'll look up and go, you know what? I didn't see a huge drop off there at center, We know Elgton predominantly played guard his career. He's not been the same player since the ACL. I think we would all agree with that. But yeah, I'm excited to see what he does, man, for sure. So
I agree. I mean, it was said I believe that was last year, that the center of the future was on this football team already. And I guess we didn't think it was Sean Ryan, but here we are. Hopefully, he steps up to the plate. I thought he looked pretty good being thrown into the fire there against Philly. And he's going to, have a full week of prep, like you said, even though it's a short week. But at least, he'll be the center here during install and everything. And hopefully we're ready to go for New York.
No doubt about it, man. Joe NC says Mike Wall was trying to nicely say Elgton Jenkins going down might improve this line. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised one bit. Like I said, if it's just such a weird situation, Tim, because we know Elton's a better player than Sean Ryan, but it doesn't mean he's playing better this year, And when Sean Ryan came to the game, there was a couple of snaps that you've seen him kick out. As a matter of fact, I can't wait till Chalk Talk. Hopefully we have it ready by tomorrow. But on Chalk Talk, we're going to show you that final 4th down play, and I think people are going to be surprised by my take on it. I will say this: go back and watch it, and watch Sean Ryan on that rep. Watch him on that rep. Where I think it's Jalen Carter, he absolutely demolishes. He knew the play was coming, got the jump off the snap, and next thing you know, Jalen Carter's on his – not Jalen Carter, it was the D tackle on his right. Might not have been Jalen Carter. You guys double-check that. Just gets absolutely pancaked on his face. So I'm eager to see, man. This might be, I always go back, Tim, to the comment that was made. Remember when they said the center, this was Rob Domofsky that reported this a couple years ago. They said the center of the future is already in-house, right? Yep. And I always took that as Elgton Jenkins or Zach Tom.
Zach Tom, yeah.
What if the whole time, because he didn't specify and they didn't tell him that, all they said to him is the center of the future is already in-house. What if the plan all along was for Sean Ryan to play center when Elgton does move on? Wouldn't that be wild? And if you'll remember in the offseason, Elgton went to Matt LaFleur and actually asked, hey, can I play center? That's another thing. People were raking Matt LaFleur over the coals for forcing Elgton Jenkins to play a position you don't want to. Elgton actually approached the coaching staff and said, can I play center? So that'd be really, really interesting if all of a sudden Sean Ryan's a solid center, man.
That'd be great. It would certainly work out. Best case scenario, given the circumstances, right? I mean, there's some holes there on the interior that we need to get some consistency and shore up. So center would be a pleasant surprise if Sean Ryan really steps up to the challenge. And I think he will. I really do.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm eager to see how it all unfolds for sure. And we'll keep our eye on that moving forward with the rest of the offensive line and how it may or may not shuffle, because obviously Sean Ryan was your backup right guard. Now he becomes your starting center, which means who's next in line to play guard if one of the guards go down, right? That's something that's going to come into play. Now, I imagine Anthony Belton and Darian Kennard are going to be at the top of that list. But, well, like I said, we'll keep our finger on the pulse. Let us know in the comments what you think. How do you feel about our boy Sean Ryan taking over at center? Do you think it's going to help the offensive line? Do you think it's going to be a huge drop-off? And listen, if there's people out there that say, no, man, there's no way Sean Ryan could play to the level of Elgton Jenkins, I can understand that. I can. But I'm just going based off what we've seen the other night. I didn't feel like the line got worse after Elgton left. I'm not saying it got better, but it definitely didn't get worse. So, Deadfish says they have to sign Sean Ryan. His contract is up this year. Absolutely. And again, that comment was made 2 years ago, Deadfish, and that was before Elgton Jenkins asked to play center. So I'm wondering if that changed things right now. All of a sudden, that would explain why you were trying to rotate Sean Ryan and Jordan Morgan at right guard, because they liked Sean Ryan that much. But
would also explain why you didn't take a swing in the draft at a center, and you didn't sign Drew Dahlman in free agency. So I mean, there was a plan.
Yeah, for sure. Chester in the chat says Ryan has some nasty to him that I think Jenkins doesn't have. And it's weird too. I don't disagree with you, Chester. Early in his career, I felt like Elgton had some nasty in him. I remember him. He was the one that if there was a fight on the offensive line with the defensive line, with the opposing defensive line, it was usually E right in the middle of it, right? And as you get a little older, it's funny. AQ Shipley was talking about this on the McAfee show earlier today. He's like, yeah, man, when you're young, you're in there throwing those punches, you're fighting. He said, once you get to like year 7, year 8, you start to just kind of drift back. Guys, you're doing great. I'm just going to watch from back here. So you're obviously trying to extend your career there. Coach Lynn says Ryan might give us a bit more push in the run game. Exactly, right? Because Elton's always come across as a pass blocking left guard. Not that he can't run block, but his strength has been pass blocking. I mean, hell, there was times I remember when they first extended him, they were going to play him at left tackle, right tackle. There was all this stuff that they were talking about moving him around when injuries would happen, right? So it makes a lot of sense. It really does. So, yeah, there you go. I remember that too. B. Timmy said, yep, made Aaron Donald mad. I remember him absolutely owning Aaron Donald in that matchup against the Rams at Lambeau that year. So to the point that people were making memes of Elgton Jenkins holding the baby, and they had photoshopped Aaron Donald's face.
I remember that.
The best, man. The absolute best. So, again, let us know in the comments what you think. Are you overly concerned about Elgton Jenkins leaving the starting lineup, obviously going to IR, probably being done for the year? Or, do you have a lot of faith in Sean Ryan? Let us know in the comments. Make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. So Jacob Morley threw a tweet out earlier, Tim, I want to hit on real quick. Just talking about the Green Bay Packers, where they rank offensively. You guys know I always talk about points per play, right? And points per play, the Packers have sank right now. They've sank to 17th in the league, okay? Now, again, why is that? When you go out there and you only put up 3 points in a ball game, it's gonna skew that number pretty dramatically, but I'm glad it does, because there never should be a game where you only score 3 points, right? However, Here's what Jacob Morley pointed out. The Green Bay Packers offense ranks in the top 10 in the NFL in the following categories this season, okay? Passing yards per game at 237.4. Passing yards per play, they are 7th at 7.47. They're not in passing yards per game. So not and 7th in the passing game. Interception rate, 1.05. That's 5th best in the league. So the interceptions have been cut way down this year. Sacks per pass attempt are 4.90, and they're 7th there, okay? First downs per game, 20.6. That's not best in the league. Third down percentage, 47.7% completion or conversion, I should say, rate there in terms of third down percentage. They're first in the league on third downs, okay? Goal-to-goal percentage, 93.33. That's 5th best in the league. Giveaways, they've only got 7 giveaways this year, Tim. That's 6th best in the league. Games with 400-plus yards in total offense, I would imagine. They've had 4 of those. That's 3rd best in the league. Plays of 50-plus yards, they've had 3 of those plays. That's 8th best in the league. And 20-plus yard completions, they've hit on 33 of what we call explosive passing plays. 33 of them. That's 6th best in the league. For the people that say that Matt LaFleur isn't aggressive enough and Jordan Love only dinks and dunks, you can't be 6th in the league with 33 explosive passing plays and those two things be true. So again, are these stats somewhat cherry-picked? I can understand the argument that they are. But guys, when you're cherry-picking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think roughly 10 different stats that I think we would all look. There's not a stat there that I look at and go, that ain't important. They're all important, right? But again, it comes down to scoring, points per play. That's what's dropped here lately. And we're noticing too, Tim, that points per play is dropping because drives are stalling in the middle of the field. It feels like between the 30 and the 30 is where they're really stalling. But anyway.
I'm with Jarrell Lee here in the comment. We'll be just fine. Go Pack, go. I think it's well said. And I agree, when you're cherry picking stats, at least cherry pick the ones that seem to really matter when you're trying to make judgment on a team. And bottom line is we're still top 10, and that's where you want to be. You want to be hovering around that top 10 echelon in the league, especially closing out the second half of your season.
Yeah. Chester in the chat said a lot of those stats have a heavy dose of craft in them, though. That's very true, Chester. That's very true. That's a very good point, man. So we'll see if these numbers start to dip or continue to dip as we get on into the season. I will say this, man. You on those RPO flats, give me Fitzpatrick or Wiley out there. On those where there's going to be yak involved, and continue to use Musgrave to stretch the field on crossers and climbs and things like that. That's kind of how I would see that, because that was a rough look on that third down. I don't think it made chalk talk, but I would like to go back and find it and not to pile on Musgrave too much, but it's what we talked about leading up into the week, right? To the Philly game was like, man, Musgrave can get open just as good as Kraft. He'll catch the ball just as good as Kraft. But boy, oh boy, we're going to miss that yak. And we missed it in the very first game that we talked about that essentially. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right, moving along here. Anything else you want to hit on those rankings there, Tim? Anything at all, man?
No, I think that covers it.
All right, let's move along to a little Jordan Love talk, because, he's getting raked over the coals today. And listen, there's some reasons for him to be criticized. Nobody's saying that there's not, right? He didn't play his best game, in my opinion. That third down, or I think it was a third down, whenever the fumble was, right, with whatever, less than 40 seconds left before half, that was the most important play of the entire game, and it went against the Packers there. And what's crazy, Tim, is if you watch that replay back, he's trying to shovel that ball to Josh Jacobs. If he gets that ball to Josh Jacobs, we're sitting here today talking about, look at this Brett Favre-like play.
Yep.
But instead we're going, boy, that might have lost us a game. You live and die by the sword,
Yeah, that's how football is sometimes, right? I mean, in hindsight's always 20/20. We're looking at all 22 and we're freeze framing and we're, slowing it down and analyzing things. I mean, Jay Money's got, less than 3 seconds sometimes to make a decision with the football, and it's just a tough play. But yeah, you're right. We were that close. If it goes our way, we'd be having a different conversation right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. No doubt. So here are Jordan Love's numbers that Jacob Morley tweeted out. Jordan Love ranks in the top 10 of the NFL in the following passing categories. All right. Passer rating 103. That's seventh best in the league. Completion percentage 68.9. That's eighth best in the league. Average gain of 7.86. That's sixth best in the league. Interceptions, he's only thrown 3. That's seventh best in the league. Interception percentage is at 1.0. That's fifth best in the league. Passing yards, 2,247 passing yards. That's eighth best in the league. Touchdown to interception ratio, 4.3. That's eighth best in the league. And 25-plus yard completions, 21 of those. That's fourth best in the league. So, again, you're seeing Jordan Love in the top 10 in some very, very, very important statistical categories. It doesn't mean he can't have a bad game. It doesn't mean that he did not see open receivers last night. But you also got to take into consideration the drop by Melton, the ball hitting Christian Watson in the helmet, right? Which Christian Watson, it sounded like they let me know on the NFC North show that he actually came out and said, I got to catch that ball. I got to play that ball. I don't know what I'm doing. I made a mistake, right? So all those things coming into play, though, Tim, man, oh, man. Jordan Love is still putting together a really, really nice season. It's just some of those crucial situations just seem to kind of go against him. But we all know Toyota-thon's right around the corner. And, of course, Matt LaFleur in December is a December to remember there. So
That's right. That's right. And, hey, you're not going to be perfect, right? You're going to have a crap game once in a while. It happens. But, again, consistently in the top 10. And like you said, cherry picking categories of statistics that really matter, especially when you're looking at a QB. So, I'll say the same thing I said about this team. I'm not worried about J Money. Bounce back game is coming, short week. We go into New York and we're going to handle our business. I'm confident in this team for sure.
Yeah. I just did a pick over there with the NFC North roundtable, and the Giants, just on the surface here, guys, they're 25th in scoring offense, 25th in scoring defense, and they're dead last in yards per carry allowed. This would be a game, just like we said before, get the running game going. Like with Carolina, you kind of started to drift away from it a little bit. Stick with the run, get those hog mollies up front, kind of working together and get a little momentum. Don't just try to make them run the football when you're going up against great teams, and then you want to try to pass the ball to show off a little bit, against some of the bad teams. Get out there and run the ball down their damn throat. I don't care if you win by 1 point. Go get that dub. That's what it comes to.
Especially like considering Coach Len's comment about, Sean Ryan being our center now and giving us a little extra push in that run game. We know that, Matt likes his inside zone, right? So we're going to need that push from the interior of that O-line.
Yeah. Coach Len has another comment I highlighted here. He says, question, why didn't Jacob stay in the A gap in that 4th and 1? It was there, but he tried to bounce it, in my opinion. I can't wait to break this one down tomorrow, Coach, because you and I are on the same page there.
Yeah.
All the conversation got steered towards they guessed our play, right? They knew what we were running. We should have still ran into the damn gap it was chosen. Now, Josh Jacobs is arguably the best player on offense for the Packers, right? He's a great football player. Great football players make mistakes. In the moment, he hears they're running right here. He's probably thinking everybody's flooding to that area. Yep. Well, the ball snapped, and lo and behold, Tim, if you go back and watch it, and we'll watch it tomorrow, that dude gets pancaked. Jalen Carter kind of holds his ground, plays 2 gaps, works to the left. If he just stays with the running play, you still pick it up. So it's tough. Coach, we seen that the same way. I'm eager to put it on tape tomorrow for Chalk Talk and get Tim and Emilio and Jacob's take on that too, because that's exactly how I seen it as well. It's unfortunate that the play got called out. But then again, it's 4th and 1.
Right.
It's 4th and 1. He's sidecar right. This is what gets me about that. I'm going to get angry. People are like, oh, we're so damn predictable that they called the play out. When you're sidecar right, like 88% of the time you're running left. Okay. So your gun, sidecar right, you're probably crossing the face of the quarterback unless you're running counter action with a pulling guard. Why would you do that on 4th down? Right. And it's a 4th and 1. I think you should run the ball in that situation. I think the play call was the correct play. You know why? Because like Coach Lynn said, it was there. We'll show you tomorrow on the tape. You can go watch it yourself. You'll see. You'll go, oh, damn, if he'd have stayed. Because it was designed A gap left, A to B left. It's inside zone left.
Right. I could see him bouncing it another gap inside maybe. But to bounce it out, yeah. It's tough.
So with all that being said, them calling that out, everybody's acting like the damn Eagles defense was Socrates or something. Like, no, we know when it's sidecar right, it's going to be A to B left unless you go strict outside zone. Why would you do that in a 4th and 1 situation? So again, it's just funny how people pile onto that stuff and pretend like, wow, he's so predictable. Now, it's a 4th and 1. I know this. For all the people that are pissed off they ran football on 4th and 1 and got stuffed there because Josh Jacobs cut it back across the green, back across in the opposite direction of where the play. You can even see the offensive line on that side's looking up like Sean Ryan blows a dude up and he looks back and like, what the hell's the play at? You know?
Oh, Clayton, they're not pissed because we ran. They're pissed because we ran out of shotgun.
Yeah. Oh, it's hilarious. So anyway, you think
I can hear Ryan Slip right now fuming into his microphone if he's watching.
If you think you're mad that we ran on 4th and short, you don't want to hear me if we'd have passed on 4th and short with the game on. I would have lost my damn mind. So it's going to be interesting though, man. It's going to be interesting. Coach Lynn says, I think Jacobs knows it from how he answered the question after the game. I don't, and I didn't hear all of them, and I don't know when the comments were made. But to me, and I'm just going to say this, it kind of felt like Josh Jacobs was a little defensive. But he's like, it was almost, to me, the comment I heard him say, and that might have been immediately following the game, I don't know. It was almost like he was saying, like, he was given a reason why I cut it back because they called to play out, you know. And I got to be honest with you, I love Josh Jacobs. I love him. But that pisses me off a little bit. You keep that mouth shut. Because when you make that comment, guess what happens? Everybody piles on. And now it's, well, see, we're predictable. We're this, we're that. Play the football game. Play it hard. Run your assignment. And if it don't work, it's on the coaches. When you try to make chicken salad out of chicken poopy, sometimes you end up making the play worse. And it is what it is. So, yeah. And J. Cole says he panicked. I would have panicked too. You see Jalen Carter lately? I would have panicked too, right?
That's what Jacobs was talking about. You know, he made a comment, I'm paraphrasing, not quoting, but changing the way I run the football or something, you know, that had an impact on, you know, how he was running the football. And yeah, you're right. You're trying to, you know, you're trying to freestyle and make a play for your team because you're playing chess out there. And, you know, you backfired, made a wrong decision. It's just like Jordan trying the shovel pass and it's a fumble, you know, it goes either way. Right. Right.
Exactly. So, and as Coach Lynn says, Jacobs is still my guy. Same here, Bob. Man,
that's right.
That dude, he's the heart of this.
That's the heart of this offense for sure is Josh Jacobs.
No doubt about it. All right. So there you go, guys. There's the numbers on Jordan Love. And like I said, this Packers offense. Let us know in the comments what you think about those rankings. Is there a specific statistic that you like better than some of the ones that we cover for both Jordan Love and the offense? Comment. Let us know what you think. Also, hit subscribe. Click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. Tim, we're going to hit one play here real quick. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. But remember when Romeo Doubs was getting tackled on the ground while the pass was in the air, and he was calling for a flag after the play, you know, and even the announcers were like, yeah, he got there a little early. This play right here, boys, this is hard to watch. So I went and found it, right? I'm like, how bad was it? Because listen, I'm as emotional as the next Packer fan. Sometimes I think something's a flag. We get the chalk talking. I go, boys, I was wrong there. Sometimes I'll say that was a GT power run. And I go, damn, boys, that was do-o right. What am I doing? You know, that happens all the time in the heat of the moment. But I said such a bad look for the NFL. This is a crucial third down. The Packers get the perfect look, and the officials allow a Philly DB to ride on the back of Romeo Doubs while the ball is in the air, as if the tush-push play wasn't obvious enough. You guys seen the tush-push play, I'm sure, where the guard literally, he moves. It's almost a full second, it felt like. Like, he literally has time to make contact with the Packers defender. His job, too, is to leave early, by the way. That's why they're trying to ban the play, because everybody other than the officials can see their asses are cheating on this play every time they run it. He's basically leaving before the ball is snapped, turning sideways, and cutting off the defensive line, the defensive tackle, the nose, right? So you got that play. Check this one out. You guys tell me if I'm off base here. And you're going to see, I'm going to slow it down for you right here. Look at Rome. He's already got his hand on his back, and you're going to see his right hand hooked around his hip. Okay, he's coming into the frame now. Look at this. The ball still isn't there.
Yeah, that's PI.
What the hell are we doing?
You could have called a hold or illegal contact right away. But since you missed that, you get the added bonus of the ball being in the air and the contact's still there. Throw the pass interference flag.
I mean, like right there, it's kind of off frame. It's hard to see, but he's actually starting. He's already got his left hand on his rib cage, and he's got his right hand hooked around his hip, right? And then as it comes back in the frame, I'm going to pause it because you see where the ball's at, right?
Yep.
The ball is right here, and you can see he's got his hand on his hip, and his left hand is hooked around the front. Now the ball is a little closer, about halfway there. Look at this shot right here, guys. Am I losing my mind or what?
Like that's PI. That's textbook PI. They
He's to the
could use
point,
this as training tape for the officials.
he's to the point where his chest plate, his chest protector plate, the DB's chest protector plate, is touching the number 8 on Romeo Dobbs' jersey.
Yeah,
right?
we're not talking about a little contact here, right? We're not talking about a little physicality. This is like bona fide holding for sure at the minimum, but I think it's PI.
Now notice the DB has a white glove on. You see the white glove right here, Tim? Look at the white glove. Watch it disappear. Why does it disappear? He's
giving Rome a hug. You know,
He's
Rome's a really
giving
nice guy. He just wanted to give him a hug.
I don't think it's a hug. I think Jacob, if Jacob was here, Jacob would say what it is, but we're way more mature than him, right? So again, now he's got it after he's already kind of hit him in the back. He's got him hooked with both arms. Now he's got the right arm around. Now he's going to pull the left arm off, and he's going to press his shoulder pad onto Rome's back and reach over and smack the ball.
Great point by Coach Len.
Yeah.
Everyone in the world knows Quinyon Mitchell's grabby.
Yeah.
So this is not that shocking.
Just crazy, man. And again, Philly fan or not, I don't understand how anybody can watch that play and go, yeah, that's not a flag. Listen, I will say it. If the Packers commit a penalty and somebody says, man, this is a penalty, I say, yeah, it is. They missed that one. Like, you got to call a spade, right? It's an easy, like you said, Coach said. And what's crazy, Coach, and we'll show it to, I think I've got it on Chalk Talk. Maybe I don't tomorrow. But the all-22, I mean, it schemed perfectly. There is nobody in the middle of the field. It's Rome on a dig, and it's just, it is gorgeous. But again, right off the bat, as soon as he makes his cut, he's getting handsy on him, right? Like Tim said, it could have been a hold, could have been PI, what have you. So, yeah, completely agree to over this. He says, to be fair, Jair did this all the time. He did. And I remember every time going, oh, we got away with one there. He hooked the hell out of him, right?
Well,
so
most DBs do play like that, right? You put the pressure on the official to do their job, you know. If they're not gonna flag me for it, I'm gonna keep doing it, right?
All right, that's it. As J. Cole said, they treat Mitchell like he is Revis or something. It's so true. Like some of these young players, like you got to earn your stripes before you start getting calls like that, right? Like Jordan, MJ would get calls back in the day, Tim, right? After he already established his dominance, like he's going to get those calls. Tom Brady, I know it pisses people off. He's going to get those calls, right? Yeah. Played for so long at such a high level, but yeah, it's you know what? If I'm not mad at the Eagles for committing that penalty either. I'm mad at the refs. If I'm the Eagles and I watch that tape, I'm going, Quinyon, keep doing it until they throw the flag, bud. Yep. That's the way. That's how you've got to play the game. It's just like the holds that we've showed over and over and over on our defensive front, specifically Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary. I'd be telling my offensive line, hold every damn play until they throw a flag, and then we're going to go, you better call it on the other side too, bud. And that might be a way to press into it a little bit more. Not that the coaches aren't already doing that, but I don't know. That really irked me when I got there. I was just like, man, drove me crazy. Yep. Drove me crazy. Coach Lynn says, agreed, Clayton. Good point. Yeah. Again, man, I'm okay. It's just like when we were growing up and you play basketball, right? You play backyard hoops or whatever. Y'all want to play physical? No blood, no foul. I'm good with it. But you better not be screaming foul when I touch you, right? Let me know the rules. Let's all get on the same page here. What are the rules? You know, if we want to get out here and body check and play ball that way, that's cool. I can do that. I'm actually built for that. You know, I'm not built for the agility and not being able to touch people. I'm built to be a goon. But man, I can't stand that when it's, you know, this team's going to get called for this team isn't, right? I mean, we got called for several illegal procedure penalties, right? Last night, or we, you know, whatever. Okay, right. You can't let those go, but boy, you can let that tush push go. Boy, you can't let those go, but you can let them, you know, hook your receiver like that. So again, is it the reason we lost the game? No, it's not. It's just a point though that would have extended the drive, and you don't know how the game would have turned out, right? Like, so it is what it is. But I'll tell you what else is what it is, Tim. I don't know if I like this, man. I want to get your take on this. Adam Schefter tweeted out. You ready for this? Giants are expected to start Jameis Winston versus the Packers.
Here's the guy.
Ronan and me. Let me first, before we dive too deep into this, I want to say Jameis Winston is one of my favorite players in the NFL. I love how open he is about his Christian faith. I love how his teammates love him. I love how he's not fake because he is just a quirky human being. There's nobody, Tim, that could fake that being that fake. This dude, man, right here, he is unapologetically himself, and it's hilarious when he talks, man. The stuff that he says, the eating the W's, this and that.
Yep.
This, you better not overlook Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, he can win you a ball game. Here's the thing about Jameis Winston, and Darius Butler said it on Pat McAfee earlier today. He's going to throw some throws that you go, damn, what a throw. And you're going to see some other throws where you go, damn, why did he throw that? Like, it's going to happen both ways. You got to make those plays when they come your way because he's probably going to thread the needle on a couple that otherwise would have been considered a dangerous throw. How do you feel about Jameis Winston playing quarterback instead of our boy, who was it? Not the injured quarterback.
Danger Russ Wilson.
Yeah, I
think I'd rather have Russ.
Yeah.
But I'm not terrified or afraid of Jameis Winston. But everything you said is true. You cannot overlook him. You're talking about experienced veteran quarterback. He's done this a handful of times in his career as he's kind of bounced around the league. Had to step up into a starting role, whether he's second or third on the depth chart, and able to come in and win ball games for whatever team he's a part of. And I agree. I think it's partly due to the type of player he is. Jameis Winston is a guy that you're not going to rattle. The guy's he's going to play loose and relaxed every time he's on that football field. I don't think he's not one of those quarterbacks that you can, get nervous or shake him up. So, but yeah, he'll throw some meatballs up there for you. So our defense has got to capitalize. Hopefully we see a couple of picks on Sunday, but yeah, I do. I think I'd rather face Russ based on what we saw last week in the game. I wish we would have had Russ under center for the Giants, but this will be an entertaining game to say the least.
Yeah. Now, Jameis Winston obviously is a little longer in the tooth now, right? So
yep.
I don't think you have to worry about him scrambling too much. So you could probably limit your cage rush a little bit and let the guys go eat. But you got to be aware of their running game as well. Obviously, now I'm excited to dive into the game plan. We'll get to that once we get through Chalk Talk. I hate Monday night games, Tim. It throws everything so far behind, man. I've been trying to catch up all day. But when we dive into the game plan, the thing that sticks out to me early is their pass rush is actually pretty good. They got some dogs on that pass rush. So we got to, I think, stick with the run, right? Establish the run early. They get the worst run defense in the league. Get the run game going. Make them make the mistakes and just slowly lean on them. And again, there's going to be some people saying, they better win by 14. No, you better win by 1.
Better just win the game.
You better not overlook the Giants. You better go in and just, hey, look, and I think we're 7-point favorites right now. That doesn't make a hill of beans. It doesn't, right?
What would be your approach defensively with, this new information? Do you send the dogs after Jameis, or do you keep it all in front of you and wait for him to make a mistake?
I would keep everything in front of you, and I would pin your ears back with the 4. And what I mean by that, guy, when they hear me say, don't be aggressive with the pass rush, they immediately think, don't blitz. Or if I say, I want to be aggressive with the pass rush, they immediately think, okay, we're blitzing. No. Being aggressive with the pass rush is allowing your front 4 to rush freely. Okay. So when you rush freely, you're not worried about what we call a cage rush, right? Where you're just kind of compressing the pocket. You're keeping him in the well. You're keeping kind of like what we did with Bryce Young, right? Mm-hmm. Until Jameis Winston shows me he could tuck that thing and run like some of these mobile quarterbacks, Coach Lynn's got it here. Rush with 4, play coverage. That doesn't necessarily mean man or zone. However, I would like to see more zone because they're probably going to try to lean on their running game. The other thing, too, you guys remember we did the watch party, Tim. What was a big part of the Giants' offense with Jackson Dart? They ran that QB power, right?
Yep.
That's out the window with Jameis Winston. They may run it once or twice, but they're not going to lean on QB power like the Bills do with Josh Allen or like the Giants did with Jackson Dart. And by the way, where's Jackson Dart now? His second concussion of the year running QB power, right? So
yeah,
it is what it is. So with that being said, I also want you to make sure your focus is on the run game, right? So what I mean is allow your front 4 to rush somewhat recklessly, okay? However, with everyone behind them, keying on the run fits. And like Coach is saying, keep 7 in coverage and keep at least 2, maybe 3 over the top. Play zone, keep your eyes on the ball, stop their running game, make Jameis Winston beat you from within the pocket with Rashawn Gary on one side and Micah Parsons on the other. And who knows, maybe we get LVN back this week. I hope we do. But Devontae Wyatt, he
I
showed
was
up.
just going to say, Heavy D's. This is the game for him right here.
Bingo. Yeah. Chester Marco actually asked, is LV on a milk carton? He's actually hurt, man. He's been hurt for several weeks now. So hopefully we get him back this week because he was starting to really step into his own when he went down with that foot injury. Hopefully he's the same player.
Especially in those run fits.
Yeah. So let's jump into the injury report here a little bit, Tim. See if we got any information that broke earlier today. And then we'll get ready to wrap this thing up. I feel like I've been talking forever and just probably too much information, but your boy was up all night with a stomach virus. So it was until about 4:00 in the afternoon that I decided, okay, I can do this show tonight. I can do both these shows because I was hurting bad. I was hurting, Linda. I was hurting real bad. Godsmack AR69 with a super chat. Thank you, buddy. He says Sean Ryan has a chance to be a Packer hero. He really does, man.
Superhero, like Nacho Libre.
How come we can't just have something like a salad? Gotta love that movie. Emilio, have you seen Nacho Libre? Please tell me yet.
Yeah, come on, Clay. It's been a minute, actually. I do need to rewatch it. It's been a minute. So
that's my guy right there.
He's a dog.
I'm telling you, I tell everybody before we do Chalk Talk tomorrow, everybody go watch that 4th down run stuff where Jacobs cuts back in the opposite direction and watch Sean Ryan on that play. I was like, all right, okay, my man. He's got some mean in him for sure, man. So as Coach Lynn says, he's UCLA grad too. So there you go.
Yep.
Guys, Smack, thank you for the super chat, man. I agree, man. He's got a chance to become a fan favorite, man. There's no doubt about it. So what does Chester say? Ryan, I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero till the end of the night. He's got to be strong. He's got to be fast. He's got to be fresh from the fight. I need a hero.
There it is. I was waiting for you to sing it.
Yeah. All right. Matt Schneiden said Packers held a walkthrough today, so their end of the injury report is an estimation. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You guys know how this goes. If they didn't actually practice, it's if they had practiced, this is what it would have been. Here's the injury report. Edgerrin Cooper limited with a foot. Romeo Dobbs full participation. You seen him leave for a short time there with the chest injury, right? So he seems to be good to go, full participation. Kingsley Enagbare limited with the knee. Matthew Golden limited with the shoulder. Nate Hobbs did not participate with the knee. He'll be out. Just go ahead and bank on that, right? Micah Parsons with a pec. He's limited. Zach Tom limited with the back. You got Lucas Van Ness did not participate with the foot. Me no likey that, Jam. I was hoping to see at least a limited there, although they didn't actually practice. A little easier to hide that if they do want to just pretend like, no, he didn't practice again, and then bang. He's on the report tomorrow as limited. That'd be awesome. Quay Walker limited with the calf. Dontavion Wicks limited with the calf. And Savion Williams limited with the foot. Is that what happened to Williams last night, guys? Emilio, did you hear anything about Savion Williams? Tim, you were there, right? I say last night. It wasn't last night.
Just remember, he was nowhere to be found after a while. And I don't know if he got stepped on or something, but these foot injuries, man, foots and calves this year, crazy.
Yeah, really is. What about you, Emilio? That's got to be what happened to Savion. That's why we end up seeing Bo Melton out there more, right?
Yeah, I would think maybe it's not as much of the flyer as we first thought. So you would think that foot definitely could have played a role. Still holding out hope for Matt, Golden to turn it up. But again, how fast do we want to be rushing these guys back at this point? I mean, either way, we got to win this game. Whoever's out there, if it's Bo again, and we need to win this game, and it'll be good reps for Bo in case we ever need to use him later on in the season. So either way, it's got to happen. I want him to come back healthy. I think the only question would have been LVN just because this is his 4th game in a row. So technically we probably could have thrown him on IR, right? So that would be the only kind of, thought. But, hey, you hoped that he would have been back, and I'm not upset about them for keeping him ready to, on the roster ready to go. If he was, it'd be better. So besides that, that's
good thing that they didn't send him to the IR, right? I mean, you see Enagbare popping up with the knee here.
Exactly.
So
is it the same knee? Is it for the same?
That's what I'm wondering. And
I wish they told us, right? But they're not going to.
Yeah. So if we, that's a scenario you don't want to be in. You don't want to have no Enagbare, no LVN.
Right.
So at least we'll have it. It looks like we'll have the opportunity to have at least one of those two, if not both of them, hopefully, for Sunday's game. And then Edge Coop with the foot again, the foot injury. That's makes me a little nervous there.
I love that. You got to plan off of it, Tim. I mean, anything like that turf toe, it's just, you never know what that could be. I'm not for it.
Chris Casual says, fire the trainer. Again.
Fire everybody.
Coach Land says, we got Sorrell, though. Hey, Sorrell, man.
That's true. That's a good point. Can't sleep on Baron Sorrell.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think he's going to be a good football player. So, all right, moving along to the Giants side. Look at this CVS receipt here, boys. So here's what we got. Limited Paulson Adebo, defensive back with a knee. Daniel Bellinger, tight end with the groin. He was limited. Jackson Dart, quarterback, is in concussion protocol, did not participate. They already said that Jameis Winston was going to be playing, so he's done. That's his second concussion of the year. Hate to see that for a great young quarterback like Jackson Dart. Let's see. We got Victor, linebacker with the shoulder. He's limited. All right. You got Graham Gano, their kicker, did not participate. Chauncey Golston, linebacker, did not participate. Neville Hewitt, linebacker with a foot, did not participate. Evan Neal, offensive lineman with a hammy, did not participate. Tyler Newbin, remember my boy Newbin?
Hello, Newbin.
Newbin with the neck, did not participate. Raheem Nunez Roches, I think I'm saying that right. Defensive lineman with the toe, did not participate. Bobby, go ahead, Emilio. You got this. Okereke? Okereke? All right, Okereke. There you go. That sounds like a carrot cake. Got me hungry. Shoulder did not participate. John Michael Schmitz with the offensive line, or on the offensive line with the shin, was limited. Darius Slayton, wide receiver, did not participate. And Kayvon Thibodeau with the shoulder did not participate. When I said they've got a good young pass rush, Thibodeau is one of the guys that's got a lot of high upside, right? He was a high draft pick. That's one that I was expecting. So they're going to be banged up here. At some point, too, if you're the Giants, they got 2 wins. Am I thinking right, guys? So if they've got 2 wins, at some point they've got to also look up and go, all right, boys, it might be time to just start throttling back a little bit, put these guys on IR and play for next year and get a higher draft pick, right? That's definitely a real thing in the league that many people don't like to talk about. But what do y'all think about their injury report here, man?
I mean, they already fired the head coach, right? So, I mean, writing's on the wall there. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like this is like, what type of Giants team are we really going to be looking at here, Because it's not a Coach Daboll team anymore, so it's kind of a wild card, really. But I am glad that they're missing a few key elements to their team, just like we are. So at least it's not a lopsided injury report going into this one.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys heard or not, but Brian Daboll, there's rumors swirling around him potentially being interested in Penn State, being interested in him as their head football coach. He's got kids that go to Penn State, and he was seen leaving his house, snowing outside, beautiful backdrop, had a Penn State hoodie on. Emilio, you may be dealing with Brian Daboll on NCAA football.
Oh, boy. I'm telling you, they're always a challenge. They may not get the best recruits. You really got to have a pipeline in Penn State. But besides that, they're a problem, man. 100,000 in that stadium's tough. But looking at the Giants, 4 of them are limited. Everybody else do not participate. That's a tough look. And they were talking on Move the Sticks about Daboll getting fired, right? But then you have the OC stepping up as the interim head coach, and who was making the play calls before that, because maybe they put Jackson Dart out there, a couple too many times on a couple quarterback counters, couple quarterback runs. So it is the interim head coach, who's already had interviews for head coaches previously. Is he, going to try to dial some of that back for Jackson Dart and maybe look to, keep him upright a little bit longer, a little bit more often? So how are you looking at your franchise quarterback? They have a lot of things going on over there. They're worried about, the future and everything. We need to go in there and just make sure that we do more than enough to bring this win home. I think we gotta beat them by double digits ideally, but I'm not trying to put too much on them. I think just as a statement piece, get us that taste out of our mouth and get us back on the winning streak, get us on a roll. I think that'd be the move.
Yeah. Deadfish got an interesting question here. Is there any chance that they start Dart? Would they say Winston is going to start to keep us from preparing for Dart? I kind of feel like we've never seen that happen. I want to say never. In the last, I know, at least 5 years, I haven't seen a team come out and announce someone as a starter and then start another quarterback. Am I wrong there, guys? Have y'all ever seen anybody do that? Because, again, the report that we had, I've already closed it out. Tim, it did say they announced him as the starter this week, right? That's what the report said.
Yeah, I believe so. We had that from several different outlets and sources, correct?
Yeah, and listen, I know Emilio's just grimy enough that what he would do in his Madden franchises, he would say that and then start Dart. I know how he rolls.
Yeah, you have to against users, man. You need every edge you can get against them. But Clay, the only other thing I would say to that is they were saying on with the sticks again, the previous, or maybe it was Ross Tucker, previous Giants players that had concussions throughout the season. All of them that had a concussion missed the next game.
Yeah.
So it looks like that their stance and their kind of takeaway has always missed that next game at least, as maybe a training staff or a franchise, whatever it is. But that's what it seems like so far.
And I just pulled up another report here. This is from NFL. So we had, I think, Adam Schefter before, and this is NFL. It says Giants interim head coach Mike Kafka says Jameis Winston will start at quarterback in Week 11. So again, I'm not saying it's not possible, Deadfish, but it's highly, highly, highly unlikely they would announce him as a starter and then start Dart, right? So, and I understand what you're thinking too, because I want to see Winston over Dart, that's for sure, right? Yeah. I also want to see Russ Wilson over Winston, to be honest with you. That's a story for a different day, right? So, which, by the way, it sounds like we've got our first soundbite of Jameis. I'm assuming this is recent because Adam Schefter just tweeted it out. And listen, we got to play these. These are gold, okay? Adam Schefter said the Jameis Winston show continues. Let's see what he's got to say this time. This dude, every time he opens his mouth, it's gold. Here we go.
I want fans to know that I'm going to do my best. You know, obviously I'm going to have fun, but I'm going to execute, have a surgical execution, and just play ball, man. Like, this is something I've been doing since I've been 4 years old. Now I just get to do it in the greatest city in the world. I'm going to be saying it with my son. The greatest city in the world. Yeah, that's a Hamilton reference if y'all don't know. Yeah, 10-year reunion.
I love this dude, man. Him and Rome, wouldn't you like to just be a fly on the wall of him and Rome?
Right. That'd be a fun group to go to dinner with, right?
I was gonna say just let them open up a pack of gummies and you kick back and relax, just watch the show. You know what I mean? Like, absolutely hilarious. So, what do you think, Emilio? Are you worried about Chris Cashman, greatest city in the world? How do you feel about Jameis Winston? Are you worried about him at all, man?
No, I think he's just a gamer. You're playing against those kind of every week. I think you just got to go out there, do your assignments. That defense is skilled enough to take it to Jameis. Like you said, back end of the career. I think we got the upper hand. We just need to make it happen.
Got it. And the playoff machine is back. Shout out to our Aaron Rodgers, not the Aaron Rodgers, who
playoffs.
It's that time of the year, ladies and gentlemen. So this is absolutely awesome to see. Love the fact that you can just go through and say, all right, the Packers beat the Giants. Bang, that's what happens. You know what I mean? You could say Cardinals are going to upset the 49ers. Probably ain't going to happen, but bang, that's what would happen, right? Let's say the Bears lose to the Vikings at home, right? You see the Bears in the 6th seed. Does anything change? The Bears are now the 7th seed, and the Green Bay Packers are the 6th seed, right? I just love this time of year. Let's say the Eagles beat the Lions. Does anything change, guys? The Lions are the 3rd seed. Looky there, boys. All of a sudden, the Packers are leading the North if that happens. If the Vikings beat the Bears and the Eagles beat the Lions on Sunday Night Football, the Packers take care of business in New York. All of a sudden, we're right back in first place, and it'll probably change the following week. So that's what it's going to be for the rest of the year. So I love this playoff simulation, though. So just wanted to hit that. Anything else you guys want to hit on before we get ready to do our giveaway and wrap this big bear up?
No, I think we got it. What about you, Excelio?
Not too much. No, I just came from dinner. That's all. A little late, but glad you got it covered. Excited for some chalk talk tomorrow, right, Clay? And then we got to turn it quick.
Yeah, I told y'all 10 plays, right?
Yeah, we got 19.
I think we got 19 too. So
nailed it.
I've got them in the system. Now I got to go through and edit everything. I'm hoping I can get it done by tomorrow. I really do. But it's going to be a fun one, man. There's a lot to learn on this tape. There really is. So, Amelia, you said you went and got, would you get authentic Italian? You go to Fazoli's? Is that what you did?
No. Went to Hot Pot, Clay. I don't know if you know what that's all about.
Hot box? You hot boxing?
No. Hot Pot.
Oh, okay, gotcha. What do they do? They make like noodles and stuff?
Yeah. Noodles. You can cook your own meat and stuff in your soup, and I'll show you around.
No, yeah, we've got a Vietnamese restaurant here called Calm, and it's the same thing: raw, thin sliced beef.
Yes, exactly. That's it.
Tim, this soup base, man, this broth will hurt you, bro. You got to be careful. That stuff is steaming. It's boiling coming coming out. So
Delicious.
Nice.
yeah.
Love it.
We need to get down to Knoxville though.
Oh, they know what's going on. Chris, Jen knows what's up. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Chris said hot pot. Jen Wright said hot pot is so fun. I think Chris was talking about that time he got arrested in high school.
Yeah, right.
Somebody in the chat, give me a number between 1 and 10. We're gonna give away an autographed Lucas Van Ness rookie card from members of our Patreon group and members on our YouTube group here. Give me a number between 1 and 10.
That pinky wheel is smushed.
8. Too old for this. 8.
8.
All right, so 8 it is. We're going to shuffle this thing 8 times, even though people will still say it's rigged. That's okay. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's give away an autographed rookie Lucas Van Ness card. Yeah, Bates came in with the dono last night, put all kinds of people on his wheel.
Absolutely.
All right, here we go, guys. The winner of the autographed LVN card is
Bates over here ruining my chances.
That's perfect timing, man. Cannonball John.
Hey!
Cannonball. I know that guy.
Here's the guy.
I know that guy. Cannonball John. Shoot me a message. If you're in Patreon, shoot me a DM there. That's the easiest way. If you're not in the Patreon group, you're only a member here on YouTube, send me a text message, 865-658-5824. You are the winner of the LVN autographed rookie card. Thank y'all so much for support. Everybody on that list, man. Thank y'all so much for just hanging out and supporting the show. So
That's
anything
awesome.
else, boys? We good? We good to go?
Congrats to Cannonball John. Glad he got a dub. That's awesome.
Absolutely. We'll take it. That's one win this week. Let's get the second one here on Sunday.
Right.
Come on,
Let's go.
Go. It's gonna be a fun day, man. It sucks that Chicago, Minnesota's in the same 1 o'clock window. That
Right.
sucks.
Right.
But Detroit, Philly's gonna be a lot of fun, though, man. Imagine, let's say the Packers go get a dub in New York, right? Let's say they pull that off. Let's say Minnesota upsets Chicago at home. I say upset; they're probably the favorite, to be honest with you. But let's say Minnesota gets that win, and you kick your feet up at the end of the night, get you a little hot cocoa, right? A little fire going, a little chilly outside. Looking at the wind, it's chilly out there. And let's see if Philadelphia Eagles can take care of business against Detroit, and all of a sudden the Packers are back in first place. So it's gonna be fun.
We'll take it.
All right.
Little Bears Vikings recap on the post game show there too, Clay.
Yes, that's exactly what you'll get. That's correct, sir. We'll walk everybody around the league after we get through talking about the Packers game. So, all right, that's it, guys. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. If you would hit like, hit subscribe, click that bell icon so you're notified every time we do go live here in the future. If you're new here, thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. All the regulars, you guys are awesome. Sorry I was a few minutes late. Had to do the NFC roundtable, so go check that out. It was a lot of fun. Probably pissed some people off, but hey, it's a good night when you can piss people off. You know what I mean? That's the way it is. So we'll see y'all tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central for Chalk Talk. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Me, I'll tell them something smart.
I don't have it.
All right, bye.
Here we go.
Nice.
Bye, guys.